We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gauge, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
In fact, so there's sometimes when I'm leaving to go to my workout class and you're getting in the shower and singing your operetta, that I'll be at the gate leaving and I can hear high notes. And
What
I'm like,
gate?
to the front of our house.
The locked gate?
Yeah,
How can you hear it? The door's closed.
because it's going through the bedroom, through the windows.
Oh no.
So you're giving our whole neighborhood.
No one's complained. Oh no.
No, maybe they really like it. Maybe they like you.
Maybe that's why the people above us drag their furniture.
Because you sing in the morning.
Listen, they need to be awake. They need to be awake.
It's not too early, right?
Like 7. Right? 7-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
And also at night.
So
Dual
welcome
concerts.
Welcome to Two Gays Pod.
Who are you?
This week it's Three Gays Pod, I guess.
We are, but who are you?
Hey, it's Andy.
And I'm
Filling in
Joe.
filling in for Paul.
Yes.
Paul's better.
You look just like Paul. You exude his spirit.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting in his spot.
You are. See, you're in the spot in the zone.
throwing me off.
Auto zone.
Seeing that Andy and Paul spot.
Well, no, because where's Paul right now?
He is in Washington D.C. So we had a conference in Palm Springs last week, and he and his sister got on a plane from Palm Springs and flew out to Washington to do one more trade show.
Praise him. Yeah.
He comes back, and then he's got a whirlwind schedule. He's only back for a couple of weeks, and then he goes off to D.C. again for an event, then to Atlanta, and then to London. So
God.
he is international.
So, I mean, I just bless him. That's so much travel.
Well, I saw you guys at dinner. We went out to Sisters for dinner on Sunday night, right? Mm-hmm. And it was so nice to do that, but I think that's like the first thing I did because I was so exhausted from working this trade show.
Because they made you walk, right?
I'm an old freaking man. I can't do this anymore.
I feel like anyone because what you were talking about, where it's like a 7-minute walk from like one place to the next, and then you had to do like 500 7-minute walks, and you were averaging like what 30,000 steps a day.
I was averaging like 25 to 27,000.
Okay, round up. We're gonna call it 30.
Well, funny story. I'm in this like cardiac rehab thing because of my procedure that they did, and they want me to make sure my heart rate is I'm getting the right exercise and all of that. So I'm on this 8-week thing, and every Tuesday I have to check in with the coordinator on it. So you're wearing a Fitbit that they report your heartbeat and your steps every day and all the exercise that you do. So she told me this week, she's like, you are the record holder. You're the record holder for my steps. I don't have any other patient that does as many steps as you do.
Oh my God. Well, were you like, this was a once over that like was not going to happen all the time?
Well, but even when even when we're not, like I do like walking Baxter. I probably do 10,000 every day pretty easily.
No way. Oh, good for you.
Because we take him like for 3 or 4 20-minute walks, or go to the park or something. But
damn.
I was wondering why you were wearing 2.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say anything. I was like, maybe it's a trend.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, I usually have this time of year. It's like all long sleeves, so you don't notice it. The stupid Fitbit, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. But you can't I could get the steps and things to go over from the Apple Watch to the Fitbit, but it doesn't track the heart monitoring. It won't bring over your heart rate. And that's
but your watch the Apple Watch has heart rate.
It has it, but it won't push that into the Fitbit app.
Oh, and they need a Fitbit?
Yeah.
So is that on like Lend?
So this Fitbit then reports directly to Kaiser's cardiac
Really?
They can see all my stuff. Yeah.
You had to like sign a waiver or whatever, right?
Well, yeah,
For
it's
your,
all
like,
done
HIPAA.
with consent. I mean, I want them to see it.
But yeah,
Right.
how nice and easy, streamlined it all is.
They're like, your wrist was moving quite a bit last night at 8 o'clock. No, I mean, what are they going to see on the Fitbit? You know,
Do they wait, hold on a minute. Do they like check in and say like, hey, I saw that your heart was like
No,
elevated?
they'll see like the exercise
Okay.
that you do. So for example, if I did elliptical, it would show that there was exercise, and it wouldn't necessarily know exactly what it was.
It just
but
knows.
Through that, they would see all the different heart measurements, and and it's really cool actually because they're going, all right, you're when you do exercise, you're right up around the 120 mark.
Yeah.
Try to push it a little harder next week and see if you can go like between 120 and 125.
Okay.
And see how you tolerate it. And so
Oh,
they're getting you to stress your heart a little bit and push yourself,
interesting.
but safely.
Like, so it's almost not like a stress test, but like a lesser stress test because
It's
they
like
do
30
those.
minutes of cardio that you have to do every day, 5 days a week.
Wow.
Andy, why is your heart elevated at 9 p.m. every night?
I watch really scary movies. It's just. But is that a lender or like you got that?
They lend it.
Okay.
They lend it to you.
Oh,
and
so
you
someone
have to
else
send it
has
back.
used? Do they like
No,
disinfect
it was brand new
Oh.
when I got it.
Okay. Well,
They're
it won't be
also
brand
like-
new when it's back.
They're also like $30.
I don't know how much they cost.
I don't know how much they are, but so I mean it does what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
But I
It's
have
awesome.
noticed like the heart readings are not the same as Apple Watch is more
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
Because like on the elliptical, it has a heart monitor,
Yeah.
so I can see what it thinks my heart is, what the Apple Watch is reading, and there are times when this one is like way different.
Yeah.
They're all like within a percentage of like margin of error, but like it's a good like it gives you a good pulse check because it's his no. Oh,
So
That was-
for 8 weeks, I had to wear. I'm in week 5, so
Okay.
it'll be over soon. But
3 more weeks,
yeah.
and then you don't have to do 30 minutes of walking every day.
No. So everybody, this is our episode of fun. We're just doing things without Paula, and we've got no structure. We were actually going to have a special guest this week, but our special guest had to cancel last minute. He's got some family medical things, and he's taking care of his family, which we certainly
We support.
Our heart goes out to his family. We'll talk about him later when he comes back on the show, but just hoping everything goes well for his mother-in-law.
Absolutely.
I was thinking we just spend an hour just like talking about Paul. The whole episode's about Paul.
we don't. An hour is not enough.
Why would that be any different from every other episode?
That's true.
It's so true.
That's very true.
Love you, Paul.
We do love you, Paul. Well, so what if? Okay, so you went to Palm Springs.
So we went to, it was actually La Quinta, at the La Quinta Resort, which
a nice La Quinta.
a very pretty
Yes.
resort. It was, it's a Hilton property, so it kind of has Hilton branding around it. The hotel was not pretty. I mean, it was a beautiful location, and the weather was great. It was nice to be in warm weather. We had good, only like overcast one day and a little bit of rain, but the people who had their meeting there, I think they got a lot. They picked a good time to go and stuff. But it was just exhausting.
But the pictures, I mean, the pictures you sent of like the balls in the pool and like just the setup was beautiful.
They throw a good party.
Yeah.
The CNS is the consultant that does the party planning. Anybody looking to schedule a company meetings, CNS.
Shout out for
Consulting Group,
CNS. There you go.
Washington D.C. Yeah, look them up. But they are awesome, and it is a great group of people to work with. Everybody is really good at what they do, and they work hard.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work, and I'm just getting too freaking old for that.
But was a lot for Paul too, right?
He can tolerate it more.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did meetings with them before when we were doing the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers show. I used to do those, and that was a lot.
Yeah.
But I told them it's like pregnancy. You forget after a while how much pain it was, and you're willing to do it again.
Oh my God.
So I told Paul this time, especially after I was like by Tuesday night, that's when they had that pool. So for listeners, they had a big event one night, which was called the Glow Party. And there was all of this lighting. It was filmed or was going to be held at the main pool of the La Quinta Resort. So we had to schlep all of this equipment out there. They had 30-something balls, these big light-up balls. One of them is, some of them are as big as like if you curled up in a fetal position.
Yeah, they were big balls.
They're huge balls.
Huge balls.
Huge balls.
They were Joe-sized.
So,
Oh, jeez.
do you have big balls?
Yeah.
No, I meant like you as a fetal position.
I mean, I would say yeah. Not like huge balls. I would say,
Above average.
yeah, you can.
You have Italian balls.
Yeah, they're meatballs.
Spicy meatball.
As we both do the hand.
That was
Anyway,
a tradition.
not about my balls.
Every time we say Apollism, we have to,
Would be Italian.
Yeah. Well, but setting that up was exhausting, and by we were done. The party opened at like 7:15, and at 7:15, we were kind of wrapped up. Paul waited to like say hi to everybody going in, and everybody at this meeting loves him.
Well, everyone loves Paul.
But like all the attendees who've only go to this once a year, this is like the third year they've done something with him, and they all know him, and it's just like really cool to see that part of it. But he doesn't go by the name Paul at this meeting either.
What does he go by?
JP. JP.
JP. Yeah.
And
why? Really?
Well, because his family calls him John. We talked about that.
Right. John Paul.
And when he started working with this, he did it through his sister. So his sister kept calling him John, and he had originally said he was Paul. So it was like they'll call you JP, John Paul,
right?
As a compromise. So now that's the only way people know him there.
That's so funny. And you're like, hey, Paul, and people are like, who's Paul?
Well, we have intercoms, like you can talk to people, and we'd be within the earpiece. So I felt like I was working for the Secret Service.
Oh, I love that.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
but I kept putting the wrong initials in. I'd be like JT.
Oh no, Justin
JD.
Timberlake.
I would just put other initials that rhyme with P, just because I don't know him.
Didn't know it. Yeah, JB.
And then he would answer me. So.
And you're like, what's going on? Why aren't you talking to me?
So anyway, that night I told him, I said, if I ever tell you I want to do another one of these meetings, please remind me.
You're like, I'm lying.
To.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me how wrong I am, and put me back. So
true.
So I think Nick may volunteer next time.
Yeah, I would love to do it.
Yeah, I told Paul.
But I also just was thinking about the same thing where like it's so much this idea of you love it and you have this really great memory of it, but then you start doing it and you're like, I'm so fucking stressed right now. Why would I ever do this?
But you wouldn't plan it. You're just there to execute.
Well, I planned the whole thing. Well,
not you.
For this.
But for this,
that's why I would think I would love it.
It's easy. It's easier than what you did.
I'm just a person there to make sure it happens. I don't have to plan it.
Yeah, you do the to-do list.
See, I think that is it is not a stressful thing.
Yeah.
The only stressful thing is there are a lot of information that may not get to you.
Yeah.
Before the event. So, like, for example, I did flower arrangements for one of the nights, right? Mm-hmm. 35 flower arrangements. And they all look pretty much the same. But at the end, someone else had bought all these flowers. And at the end, we were running out of this one little white thing that was filling some of the corners of the arrangement. But they had bundles of baby's breath there. So, like, well, let's... do 2 corners, baby's breath, 2 corners, this white stuff, and we'll make that last the 35 tables. Well, the person who coordinates the meeting went and looked at these. They were out on the prep table all afternoon. We go to put them on the table, and all of a sudden they're pulling back in. The lady that runs it hates baby's breath, and immediately needed that changed.
Oh no!
I was like, all right, well, that's a fact that would have been good to know, or you could have looked at it
2 hours ago,
or don't buy me that because you know that she hates it.
Right?
So don't put that in the.
Yeah, why was it
test.
even an option?
Well, because I'm sure the people who bought the flowers didn't know either.
Yeah.
Or it was just like, how can we make his life a living hell?
So it was a lot of that. That's the only stressful part. And honestly, I didn't care. Yeah. I wasn't trying to get another job.
Right. You had already quit at that point.
Well,
in your mind.
I told him, I love you. And I actually really love the people who do this meeting. But if I didn't, I would have left I would have left Monday night.
Oh my God, really? Because
Yeah.
you guys got there, what, Sunday? Or Saturday?
Saturday.
So 2 days
We actually
in.
got there Friday.
Oh my
But
God.
it all started Saturday.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got home I left Thursday morning. We were finished Thursday morning.
Oh my God.
So it was a long,
Yeah.
and part of it is they unload trucks of stuff.
Yeah.
They bring their own lighting. They bring their own director's chairs. They rent all this shit. They bring all of the centerpieces and all the candles and things for multiple events, So we had a table along one whole side of this like makeshift office, the length of a ballroom, that was just loaded with linen and candles and centerpiece stuff and game stuff and and you just like sorting it all and putting it in the right place. So as the week goes on, you're just working your way down the line. It's crazy.
Oh,
I could never be an event planner.
Andy is talking dirty to me right now.
No, thank you.
I'm getting turned on by this.
He's got a boner.
I'm getting turned on by all this party planning.
All this party planning, but I mean, like they've done it. These are professionals. They definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah.
In terms of like thinking through every, all of the stuff. It's very impressive.
It's just so many details that like I just don't have that kind of brain.
Apologize, Baxter's farting.
I would honestly, I would love to see the master spreadsheet. I really want to see.
I will show it to you. I
the
have
master spreadsheet on that because it probably would just make me go over.
That's what Nick will be looking at 9 o'clock.
That's my 9 o'clock.
Why is your heart? Are you kidding me? He'll be asleep at 9 o'clock.
That's true, if I'm lucky.
So other than that, I kind of came home here, had a very quiet weekend, which was a really good intentional thing. We did dinner on Sunday, and I did brunch with our friends. Our friend Archie had a birthday, so they did brunch at his house.
Nice.
And it was great. It was very relaxing, and I finally, like by Monday, started to feel normal again.
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got a massage on Friday.
So that helped
really
a little
good.
bit.
Yeah,
Full body. There you go.
massage.
You probably need another one.
I do.
Just to like, you got the first one and that, like got the kinks out, and now you just need like the maintenance.
I'll have to tell Paul. Dr. Joe said I need another massage.
Listen, you can never have too many massages.
I do. I'm a massage whore.
See, do they offer a membership?
I love getting a massage.
Or like a monthly subscription?
I've never
Can you do
gone
that?
to. You know what? I would if I found somebody who was really good.
Yeah.
Who I felt like did it. The person who did my massage this time I had not used before, like an old Chinese guy up on Convoy, but it was deep tissue, but almost too deep. Like it hurt more after than it did before for a while, which I like, but I don't like. It was too much.
But like, it's
Like
it
it's
hurts.
a lot of elbow
Yeah.
stuff,
Ooh.
like elbow into your deep.
Give me that elbow.
Stuff.
I wouldn't be able to do. I want just like a light gentle rub.
You want it Swedish.
See, I don't like that.
You want a
That-
But I
Swedish
probably
massage.
would like a deep tissue. Probably is really good for your muscles.
Right.
I've never had that, and like I don't know if I'd be able to stand the pain.
But everybody tolerates their own level. Like you
Yeah.
tell them if it's too much pressure or whatever. And I'm good, except for like my calves. You can't put a lot of pressure on my calves. That will like really make me react.
I want to cry.
Yeah.
Make me cry during massage.
Well, they used to have a thing called Rolfing. Remember that? Like in this.
What's that?
There was this thing, ROLFING. It's not a sex term, people.
to vomit?
No,
ROLF,
that's
not
Rolfing.
PH.
ROL.
Do the suggested, yeah.
It's a massage technique where they basically try to take the fascia and separate it from the muscle. So it's this really intense, deep tissue where they get in there, and it's supposed to be very good for you. It was popular like in the 80s.
I need to be Rolfed.
Fascia? That's like this, like the in between your bone and your muscles, right?
It's
oh
that,
my god!
It's that it gets really rolfing.
Yeah, it makes you cry. That's what I want. That's
I think I've said this. I've only had one massage, and I didn't know what I was supposed to ask for, and the lady was just kind of like, okay, and it was like, okay, guys.
I don't. This is a good question. Do you guys prefer a male or female to do the massage? Because I actually prefer a man. For whatever reason,
I love a woman's touch.
See, I don't. I think most females that I've had massage from, they can't get hard enough. I need the strength to really get.
See, I liked. Well, I was whatever, but I'm like, I just want like a gentle, like just like
and
gently touch me and tell me I'm pretty.
But
that's an encounter.
There's a market for that.
I don't want to pay for that.
No, but I mean, like that Swedish technique is not is very popular.
Yeah,
like a lot of people really like that, and even a mix of like where you do maybe a little bit medium pressure and then feathery kind of.
I could do I just don't want like you to like. I don't want you to put your elbow through my leg and then it comes through the other side.
Oh, I do that. I want that too. So
yeah,
maybe I haven't. I don't know. Maybe if it was like the right technique, it would feel good. I just am scared.
It's not supposed to feel good though. That's the thing.
But it's kind of like anything else, and we'll just use that as our euphemism for anal. If you go in slowly, like you don't just go in right away with your elbow.
Some people do though.
You have to work your way in.
Yeah,
like for it to feel.
And
good.
you need lots of lube
because oil.
Oil. See, wow, massaging
life is a metaphor.
What's the kind of massage where they stand on you?
That is Thai.
I've always wanted to do that. I haven't done it yet.
I have had someone do it.
Because I feel like that's the weight that I want on my body to get into the muscles. Like, please stand on me and just dig in.
So I've had it where like they were doing normal deep tissue and they just did that. And that was kind of cool. I've had Thai massage, which is also like a lot of stretching and pulling. And I did not like that.
Ooh, stretch me too.
But twist you in like
I don't need that.
or like put their arms around behind you and like pull you like this, but their knees in your back at the time. It's just very uncomfortable.
I mean, I've never done
that.
That seems uncomfortable.
When I used to go to Taiwan, one of the people who traveled with me swore by this Thai massage. And in Taiwan, you can get really cheap massage. Like I had a place in the little town where our factory was. They would do a 3-hour massage for like $60. It was
3 hours?
Crazy. Well, yeah, the first hour is like a foot massage and a leg massage and a soak, and then they massage your head.
Okay.
The second hour was like under towels where they're just doing everything like leverage, and then the last part was a normal traditional.
Wow.
But you come out of that and you're just euphoric.
Wow.
But so anyway, this guy has Thai massage, a place that he swore by, and you go in and they put you in these pajamas, so it's not like a naked massage, you're in clothes, but they're really loose fitting, and then they do all this manipulation and stuff. It didn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
like it just made me stretch, and I'm not a stretchy, bendy person.
And you're like uncomfortable after almost.
So yeah, it was. Yeah. I didn't feel relaxed afterwards. It just.
I guess that's there's two different kinds of massage. Like, do you want to go to feel relaxed, or do you want to go to feel like they've made a disruption in your muscles to hopefully help you heal?
Kind of heal, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually the latter. The first part, I'm like, whatever.
So remember as a kid, did you ever have like, pardon the bad term, but Indian burn? It used to, like purple nurples and all the other things. But Indian burn was like when you took your hands on the wrist.
Yeah.
You can do that to my hand and as hard as you can, and I will not have any reaction.
Really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Like I just don't have a real sensitivity to a painful sensitivity.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with massage, like that really deep massage.
That's probably why you need the deep tissue then to actually like do something. Interesting.
So, how was your week?
My week was very boring and didn't do anything. You guys had way more fun living life, and all were traveling. I was not.
I did a quick search. So, just FYI, if we want to say Indian burn now, we say friction burn.
Friction burn.
I mean, okay,
because I called it an Indian burn growing up too. But
that's what we called it. Yeah,
I would have not known that the PC term is
friction burn.
And who knew that you needed a PC term for that?
Who would have known?
Well, not anymore because DEI doesn't exist. So we can say whatever we want.
I got to go to New York for a couple days to see Gypsy with Audra McDonald, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. It was so good. The weather was 19 degrees.
Optimal
for New York City.
It's your perfect New York weather.
Ugh.
I got to stay with my cousin Katie, and I don't know if anybody else out there listening has ever been to a bar called Marie's Crisis. I also don't necessarily love to publicly talk about it because I want it to be like a
Your
thing
secret.
that nobody ever goes to. But
it's popping though.
So Marie's Crisis in Hoboken, New Jersey.
that's right.
You sent people to the wrong city.
It actually gained a lot of more popularity after Sutton Foster was in Younger, and they go to Marie's Crisis. So it kind of got like a TV spot. So I do love Sutton Foster, but I hate that they
Well,
put it on
and
TV
in that
for
neighborhood, it's right in the West Village, right
in the
out
West
by
Village.
Christopher Street
Yes.
Metro or Subway. But
West Fork.
there, right near there's like 2 or 3 piano bars like
Correct.
that, or sing-along kind of bars.
And actually, right next to it, a lot of times when you're in line for this bar, there are 1 or 2, and a lot of people will like leave the line and just go to the other piano bars because they're like, I don't want to wait in line for this. You're like,
Especially when it's 19 degrees outside.
But it's worth it.
it's so worth it, especially when you go at 11 p.m. and you stay till 2:30, and then you get pizza afterwards. It's like I had a very New York weekend filled of like lesbian bars and straight guys and lesbian bars. And it was the Lunar New Year, so like the lesbian bar had all Asian, beautiful Asian women in it, and it was just fantastic. And I couldn't have asked for a better cold week in New York with my cousin, just like living it up in New York City.
And you said the show was like the best show you've ever seen.
It's one of the, I think that the best show I've ever seen on Broadway, which will always kind of be, because it was the first show I ever saw, was Spring Awakening. I was
Who was in it?
22 years old. Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff
Leah Michelle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw that.
The original.
The original.
Oh, wow.
First show I ever saw on Broadway. So that probably has like an imprint. It will always be my favorite show.
Yeah.
This is probably like the second, maybe the third, because Sweeney Todd was just amazing as well. But Audra, I've never seen Audra on Broadway. I've seen her do a ton of other things outside of Broadway. Mm-hmm. So seeing her finally on the Broadway stage, she's just fantastic.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine trying to pick a favorite show I've ever seen on Broadway. I mean, I saw a lot of shows on Broadway, so it's hard to, but
I think that folks that get to see it, and this is kind of the thing, the chatter I've seen is, I told you this at the dinner, is Audra is so talented and so polished that the only kind of criticism that she'll probably face is the role that she played in Gypsy is supposed to be kind of unpolished and a little messy.
Like grittier, right?
And she just doesn't, that's just not her. So
I watched a YouTube video about that role of Gypsy.
yeah.
And it went through history and all the great actresses who played her.
So many people.
Both in stage, film, and television. And it's all like the who's who of great Broadway performers. But they ended talking about her doing it. And they were very flattering to, this article was very flattering to her.
Yeah. And I think that she'll probably get, because she's brilliant. And this is her version of this. Mm-hmm. And she should have, she'll hopefully win the Tony. I think she will. Mm-hmm. With the asterisk is like, yeah, you might have been a little polished because your singing is flawless, and so how do you, as a flawless singer, become a little unpolished? But
I feel like that's a cool spin on it. Like, it doesn't always have to be the same.
yeah, who knows?
Like, because each artist has a different rendition and like take on it. Like,
Yeah.
so when we saw Sweeney Todd with Sutton Foster, she didn't do the standard.
She didn't.
thing.
It was very much Carol Burnett's version of. Well,
Right.
it was her version, which is
Yeah.
I felt like an homage to Carol Burnett.
But it was a cool thing to see that
Yeah,
it wasn't
it was
like
awesome.
the standard sort of thing.
I was also able to see a show. I can't remember the production company. I wish I could. Shout out to them because it was fantastic. Which was a show called Gwyneth Goes Skiing. Mm-hmm. And I wish Paul was here because him and Joe talked about this on the podcast about that whole ordeal with her getting sued by the guy. Mm-hmm. And somebody made an off-Broadway show. They're British. They've taken it to New York, Park City, which is awesome that they found a venue in Park City.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Oh.
And in LA. Now they're on their way. I followed on my Instagram after the show. They're headed back to England for now, but just like such a like they took all of the crazy things that happened through the what do you, Andy, you know this, what's like the
litigation?
Yeah, like the stuff that the person the rights, like this person said this.
Oh, the transcript.
Yeah, so they had the transcript from the court, and they used that for much of like what they
words,
the script.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
That is fun.
There was some really weird shit that was said during this.
Well, she's funky. I mean, she
she's
is very funky.
And
with her goop.
Yeah,
it was all about goop,
and she really believes all that shit too.
And her
I mean,
vagina
it's like
candle.
it's real for her. So
Hey,
she talked about the vagina candle and this
God.
thing, and just everything you could have that you would have wanted in a Gwyneth Paltrow musical. They even talk about the fact that she didn't remember that she was in an Avengers movie, like or which Avenger movie she was.
She was in Avengers.
She was.
She was in Iron Man.
She was in Iron Man. And
she was the secretary,
and she was like, I didn't know I was in a movie with Tom Holland because it was like the movie that. Anyway,
they probably didn't have scenes.
They didn't have scenes together.
Interesting,
but at the same time, so they play. It was a brilliant spoof on. It was, just, and that
I would have loved to.
And that was an off-Broadway thing, and it was just like again, like the epitome of an off-Broadway.
Well, even more so though. You told us, when did the show start?
At 11 p.m.
Yeah, so this is a play that only starts at 11 p.m. I like that is
hard.
crazy.
That's a hard sell.
Well, so the only reason I feel like going to New York, I can stay up so late is because I can rationalize sort of staying on
Pacific time.
Yeah. And actually coming home is pretty easy because if you stay up later and go to sleep later, and then when you come home, you're like, well, I've basically kept the same schedule.
Yeah.
And so it's actually pretty easy to do a New York trip for that reason.
Whenever I go to the East Coast, I try to stay just 1 hour different. So like I might, instead of going to bed at like I'd normally go to bed at 10, I'd stay up until midnight.
Yeah.
And not one. So by the time I only lose an hour of adjusting, and then
that's not bad.
Smart.
Yeah.
It works.
I don't get. Yeah, it wrecks me every time. And it's only 3 hours, which isn't terrible, but yeah.
And so, I got home, I had the flu, and I've been sick for a week. But
you're better.
Yeah.
You're better now.
Joe thinks it was COVID, but...
But you didn't test. You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, we don't test for COVID anymore. No DEI, no COVID, nothing.
Well, COVID didn't happen. In fact, any research papers that use the word COVID have been struck from the record.
They're done.
Wait, what did you talk about? What's this thing you're saying? What's the pandemic? No.
Yeah. It never happened.
Historical facts.
The scary times we live in. These are unprecedented times. Hey, this is the part where Paul would say, now it's time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation.
That's pretty good.
So what's giving you life, Joe?
Okay, so two things. As we may know, Lady Gaga dropped her new song, Abracadabra. And I told Nick yesterday, so I biked home from work, and I was like, so I listened to it on repeat for an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It's, so like, it is very like, and I feel like...
the whole time?
Yes, you said this yesterday. So it is very much like a revitalizing of like very OG Lady Gaga, where it's like synthy, like there's really good drums, like it's a really good song, and I'm loving that like the reactions to it of like people on like online or whatever, where everyone's like, oh wow, like, and they're doing like the dancing and everything. So I'm living for Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. And also I'm living now for the fact that all three of us are reading the same book, The Fourth Wing.
Oh my God. So how far are you?
I'm on like, I think chapter 20 or something.
Oh, you're farther than me.
Okay,
I just got through the threshing.
Okay. Well, Nick just started.
Yeah, I'm only on chapter 3.
Okay. But it is so good, right?
So, all right. So for the listeners,
I only started because you two.
So since I took a break on social media, which I'm now back on.
It's a short break.
I just needed a 2-week cleanse, right? I did like a juice cleanse, but for my social media. But so I went to Reddit, and I'm like, I don't know, subscribed or whatever. I don't know how Reddit works, but like you can follow like different groups, and like one of them was like Kindle, because I have a Kindle, and there was like, it was almost like every couple of posts was like, oh, like fourth wing, which is this, I would say, fantasy sort of fantasy. Like it's like a mix between kind of like a Harry Potter, but like Hunger Games, and then like not Descendants.
I know the one you're talking about, the one where they as tribute.
Yeah, that's Hunger Games.
That's Hunger Games. And then, oh gosh, I know the one the
with
fourth, it's numbers. Anyway, we'll pass it in.
But so it's a really cool book. But I was telling Andy like over the weekend that like it was intimidating for me to read because it's like 700 pages. So they're big books, but like they're page turners, quite literally, where you're like, oh my god, I want to find out. So I started the first chapter and I was like, all right, I'm good, I'm into it. And then we talked on Sunday, and because you were like, "Oh, I'm reading this book," and I was like, oh, "Is it Fourth Wing?"
I
and
know,
you're like, "It is," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And so yeah,
and that for me, that's how I found out about it. Was Melissa, Paul's sister?
Yeah,
we're driving up to the event in Palm Springs, and she's like, "I'm reading this great book, and the second one is just coming out, so I'm rereading the first one to be." So she was the one who told me about it, and I said, "I'm looking for a thing to read. I'll do it."
I think it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I think what also is funny to me is like, so Nick texted me, he's like, it's Bezgaya. And I'm like, Bezgaya?
Because I'm listening to the audio.
You both are, yeah. And I'm reading it. And it's kind of like, I have no idea how to pronounce these things. So like, I didn't know that's how it's pronounced because it's spelled Basgaith. And I'm like, Basgaith? So I'm like, Basgaith. And it's like, Bezgaya. And I'm like, I'm just going to go with what I'm reading in my brain.
Yeah.
Because there's like the Navaravars or whatever.
Well,
like,
I had the same problem with Hermione Granger when I read Harry Potter.
Because I still don't know what you're talking about with the Navaravars.
I called her Hermione.
Hermione, right?
Hermione. Because apparently Hermione is a very British like way of like the Dick Jane or whatever. But like, yeah, the Bezgayev. And like, when you get to some of the names of these people, you're like, I'm sorry, what? And yeah, so I'm living for those two things because they're giving me life.
So question for Nick, did you splurge and get the dramatization version, or did you get...
I saw that version. I did not.
I didn't either. I want to hear it actually.
But I'm curious because it's a two-part... The dramatization is longer.
Isn't it? When I asked Nick how long is the audiobook, he was like 21 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and I actually
my God.
The hard part about buying audiobooks sometimes is if you don't love the author's voice, you're going to have a hard time getting into it. But
you can't change.
No, it's just one person that's read the story.
Oh, I thought you could change it.
No, it's not like Siri.
This is like recorded.
You can't go from male to female to gender bending.
So didn't I tell you the story about the guy? So when we lived up in Poway, we moved out, and the new couple that was going to move into our house.
Yeah, he was a recorder.
He was one of those people who records audiobooks. And
interesting.
Sean Crispin, he still does it. And
really?
I've gotten books with his voice on it, and his voice is very recognizable.
Interesting.
It was very cool. And there are certain authors that really like him, and use them over and over again.
Yeah, I didn't know you can't change the voice.
This to the point where even like some documentaries I can't listen to because I don't love the voice that they've used.
With the documentary or like an audiobook, it's the main thing.
If it's not David Attenborough on a nature documentary, I don't want to listen to it. Or Sigourney Weaver. She's also great.
I can get on board with that. I can do that.
No, but the audiobook, I'm curious, Andy, maybe we should just like buy one chapter of the dramatization so we can hear what
you probably can download a sample.
Well, and I was going to ask you guys, like, do you picture in my mind, what's the pathway that they walk?
The parapet.
The parapet. I've just got to the part where they've made it through the parapet.
So, I did a lot of Googling because they were like the turret, the parapet, the like fort, and I was like, I have no clue what any of these things are.
The thing I love is that because it's through the eyes of Violet, and so all of her descriptions of the dudes are just like, it's like these hot buff guys.
I know. I love that.
I
think it's definitely skewing towards like teen romance, which I'm okay with it. But I think she's 20, so it's fine.
But she's a very empowered,
chiseled
Jaw. Yes.
And
She's a flawed character. She's got very strong weaknesses, but she's got very clear strengths.
Yep.
And it's really cool to see how the story evolves around those.
Absolutely.
Right?
Like I was reading on the train and I'm like, I've become those like gasp, like, oh my God, what? And I'm like audibly like, as I'm reading.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean, she made it through the gauntlet. I was like, oh, all right. So
I'm not there. I just have to think that like because she's hopefully the main character of the story, she's not going to die. Like you have to kind of think that.
Well,
way.
we're not going to tell you anything about that.
But I will say what I love about this author, whatever her name is, she is not afraid to kill people off.
That's like the HBO series.
Which I appreciate because, like, some people I'm like, you need to die. And then they do.
Well, and I think that's very intentional. Like, they're making you dislike some of these characters, and then you don't feel so bad.
But Dylan died, and I think Dylan probably was hot.
Dylan seemed like a really good guy.
Spoiler alert.
You know what?
Dylan fell off the parapet.
Yep.
And he had so much aspiration.
You know, it's just a microcosm of our own journey.
There'll be other Dylans along the way.
I hope so.
But it'll be spelled like DHYLIAINTH spelled.
I just can't wait for them to make this into a film. So all
and
the
you
hot
know
guys
it will
show
be,
up.
right?
It's already, I think, in production.
Really?
On like Amazon or something.
Oh, totally. I would totally.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to, I read it's supposed to be a TV show.
I want to see who they cast.
They better be hot.
I want to look up maybe some like fan art
I've
of
done
like
that.
what they how they depict her, because in my mind I don't really have a vision of what she looks like yet, other than like the silver hair. That's it. But because they haven't really done a lot of describing her. Only it's kind of through her eyes.
Yeah, it's through her eyes and through her weaknesses.
Yes,
you kind of get a waifish kind of character.
I mean, I feel like she's small and frail and has silver hair, and that's it.
I was having a different idea of what this parapet thing was, and so yes, I also did some fan art Googling of like chapter this parapet because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to spoil it.
No.
But then to see like, oh, okay, now I understand. Like it's this really small thing that they're.
It's a college, so they're like prepping.
Well, but only the people that are going to become the writers have to go through the parapet.
Yes. You have a lot to learn, young cadet.
Yes, young cadet.
I'm only an hour in.
Yeah, you got 20 to go.
But it is very compelling. If anybody's looking for a good read or good audio tape, and it's very listenable, the characters, like the story is so clear. And a couple of times I got distracted and I re-listened to something just because I didn't want to miss a detail. But it's been great.
This just became a Fourth Wing podcast.
Yeah, I know, right?
But then it'll be whatever the next one is too. Yeah.
Paul left and we're now public radio.
Oh no!
This is
good
NPR.
Good times.
We have to soften our voice. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Gays Fourth Wing. Or, hello, fellow cadets.
And you see, we can talk about this because Paul doesn't know anything about it and he has no interest.
No idea.
So,
I feel, you know what, though? I think he would like the fantasy aspect of it.
He'll
probably love when they make it a show.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
So that was going to be one of my things giving me life.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steal it.
No, it's okay. I was happy to share it. But the other one is Jacob Collier.
Okay.
So music producer, artist, musician, singer, songwriter. I found a YouTube video and then kind of fell into a hole of watching this guy's musical work. And it's incredible. His Bridge Over Troubled Waters arrangement just won a Grammy.
Yeah.
So it was really
Best
cool.
album nomination.
And he got nominated for Best Album of the Year.
And I had no idea who this person is.
I did not win. You know, of course, someone else won that one.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the Grammys when Paul's back because, it would be a disservice to...
And he has... I feel like he has way more of the like in the know of everything.
Oh, he will know.
As I don't.
Well, and I'm not even sure he watched them. He was so tired going through. I don't know if he watched the Grammys at all. So we'll probably watch them when he.
Yeah.
I taped them.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, I said the word tape to a friend, and she was like, "You're showing your age by saying that you taped the
taped
when all I did was on YouTube TV was
you
like,
recorded it.
You push like add to your library.
I would say I recorded it.
No, I say tape it.
If you say I DVR'd it, then maybe.
See, I go back to I TiVo'd it because I was an early TiVo user.
Do you remember when TiVo came out?
TiVo was a game changer.
I was so jealous because I think Val's. No, it wasn't Val's family that had it. It was someone in her workings or whatever. But like they had the TiVo, and I was like, that is so cool. Like I wish we had TiVo, and we didn't have TiVo. So I was always jealous.
Okay.
The TiVo.
So I had TiVo.
Did you work for them?
No, I worked for consumer electronics in the TV set-top box kind of world.
Yeah.
So TiVo was a competitor system, but it was the best one out there. So
I'll tell you the thing that made me a little bit mad about network TV is they caught on to the TiVo recording thing because they would because TiVo was set to be like at 7:00 p.m. start recording. But then broadcast companies would then start their show at like 6:59. So you missed the first minute of whatever was recording. And they were kind of doing it to spite this like new technology of...
Because they needed the ratings.
They wanted you to be watching it live so you wouldn't. So then we got smart and you're like, okay, just start the show 1 minute early.
Well, and what eventually happened is the Nielsen ratings changed to not only measure what you were actually watching, but what you were recording.
Yeah.
And so now you got credit for the things people record. Because the idea of having to watch things in real time was a paradigm you had to break, right? You know,
I didn't know that. They count like downloads and streams now for like how things are viewed.
Much more so, yeah.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to.
I mean, now, yeah.
Very little is watched. But I mean, at the time when
yeah.
TiVo came out, everything came through the TV. So even if you were VHSing it, you still had to be tuned to that channel and recording it.
Yeah.
Where the thing about TiVo was it would record it whether you were tuned into it or not.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember the VHS.
Ooh, but do you remember the TiVo? You could get the one that it would allow you to TiVo something and then watch something else.
So yeah, the multiple track.
The bonus, like the
multiverse.
The Premiere TiVo.
So when when the set-top boxes my company worked for were doing 4 simultaneous recordings.
Ooh, wow.
You could record 4 shows at the same time.
Jeez.
Gosh.
You know.
That was
crazy
because you
stuff.
had to pick back in the day. They would have like, it was primetime television. Like
they were all competing.
On Friday nights, you watched either Family Matters or you watched something else. And that's what it was.
Did you watch?
Which one did you pick, Joe?
Whatever my parents watched.
Laughing.
But like, remember it was like the Friday night, TGIF.
Yeah.
They had like
Yeah.
TGIF thing, right? And it would be like, that was on the same channel, like ABC or
Step
whatever.
by Step, Family Matters.
Urkel.
That's Family Matters.
Uh-huh.
Well, and then the
Full House.
Thursday night lineup was always a really big one because it was like Friends
Yeah.
on NBC, right?
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
It used to be on Thursday.
I used to watch House. I don't know what that was on. US.
That's
or
Fox.
Discovery. It was on Discovery Channel back in the day. I don't think that is a thing anymore.
What's funny is now we've lost all that association to, and even some of the series, you fall in love with a series and then all of a sudden it gets canceled, but then it gets bought by someone else and now it's on FX instead of whatever.
That was like Designated Survivor.
Yeah.
Like Designated Survivor. That's why the third season was kind of like weird.
I lost interest after the first 2.
Because the first 2 were on like regular TV and then they were like, sorry. And then it got bought by Netflix and then it went on Netflix and it was like less episodes. And it was meh. Yeah.
So anyway, if anybody's interested in listening to some amazing music, listen to Jason Collier's Bridge Over Troubled Waters on YouTube.
Yeah.
Nice. Give him a toot.
All right. One of the things I'm trying to do between now and the Oscars is watch as many of the best pictures that I can, and I'm really in a hole right now.
Are you close though? How many?
I'm nowhere near. I've
Okay.
only watched Wicked.
Okay.
And I just watched Conclave.
Okay, well, you're one more than me.
Conclave, by the way, very, very good. I thought it was really well done. It is a collection of incredible actors all eating up the stage. So,
Yeah, I don't recognize any of these. Like, I don't know what Honora is.
So I looked up all of them. I know where I can watch certain ones and where I can't watch certain ones. So the next one on my list is Amelia Perez. I'm
Okay.
going to watch that. Is it I'm Still Here is the one that what's his name?
No, that's A Complete Unknown.
The Complete Unknown. I'm sorry, that Timothy Chalamet is playing Bob Dylan. That looked really good.
And he sang some Bob Dylan on SNL a couple weeks ago while he was hosting. So he was also the musical guest singing Bob Dylan music.
Interesting. As he was hosting?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I would love to see that one as well. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard really good things about it. I have seen Dune Part 2.
Was it 5 hours?
See, so I hated Dune Part 1. I never made it through the end. And
I also did not like Dune Part 1.
I think that the Dune series makes the best picture list because of the scale and production level that it took to... It's a beautiful film. It's very slow.
It's glacial.
Almost as big as the planet itself.
I remember watching it, and I didn't know it was part 1, and Nick was like, oh, that's only the first part. And I was like, I wasted 3 hours, and we didn't even get to see Zendaya. She popped in at 2 hours and 58 minutes, and then it was end. I'm like, what?
Well, that's like your Wicked experience. You're like, what? There's another part?
Wicked experience was much different because Wicked was phenomenal. And the 2.5 hours flew by.
Amelia Perez is on Netflix.
Right.
It is subtitled.
Oh.
Because it's in Spanish.
Oh, okay. What's it about?
It's supposed to be a fantastic show.
Is it about a girl named Amelia?
It's about a girl named Amelia
Perez.
A Mexican lawyer is offered an unusual job to help a notorious cartel boss retire and transition to living as a woman, fulfilling a long-held desire. So it's actually kind of, it's very queer as well.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
The previews looked really good. So that's on my probably tonight watch.
Okay.
This is the one I really want to see is Nickel Boys. It's around the time of the Jim Crow era. And it's supposed to just be a really great historical kind of film about that time. So.
Okay, so our homework this week is to watch at least 2 films on this list. And we can talk about them next week.
Yeah.
And I think out of these, The Substance is something that I wouldn't mind watching.
I would love to watch that.
Just because I feel like...
Great. You guys watch that and let me know how it goes.
Just it's very current, if that makes sense. We are in this eternal trying to be youth and all that sort of thing.
Are you triggered by that, or there's something about it that, or you just don't like horror movies?
I don't love horror.
Gore.
Okay.
I don't love gore. If it's mild, I think that I can watch it at home because it's the TV is here.
Yeah.
I think in a theater, I'd have a bigger issue with it.
We can try and see because I've heard good things about it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So the story, from what I understand, is that she's taking this substance that's injected, and it's supposed to make you perform bring back your youth and your energy, and it's like a miracle drug, but apparently you can have too much of a good thing.
Yeah. And again, it's very current as everyone wants to chase the fountain of youth.
It's like Death Becomes Her, but horror.
I've never seen Death Becomes Her.
Oh, never mind.
No.
That's lost on me. They take a magical potion that makes them invincible.
Young? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gonna change topics.
Okay.
I have a game.
Oh.
So this is a game I heard on another podcast, and I thought it was really cool. And so then I went online and found a version of this, so I take no credit for this, the originality of this game.
Take all credit. No one's going to know.
They're going to know, because they all listen to this podcast. So this is, we've all been to IKEA, and we've all bought IKEA furniture probably, or for ourselves or family members, and they always have crazy Swedish names for everything. So we're going to play the game. I'm going to give you a Swedish name for something, and you have to tell me, is it an IKEA furniture, or is it a sex term?
Like by sex term, is that just like a like something that is like a Swedish word for it?
A Swedish word for something related to sexuality.
So like anal would be like skflarkten or whatever.
Oh my God, it's like you read my card. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that.
I'm actually fluent in Swedish.
So I have the printed, because sometimes you have to see these to understand them, and my Swedish pronunciations are going to be awful.
I'm so glad that you did that.
So we're having it written, and I have how you're supposed to pronounce it if you're giving credit to the Swedes.
Okay,
so,
thank you, Andy.
And again, I make no representation that my Swedish is right, but we're going to keep score.
Okay.
Nick versus Joe, and they're going to vote. Is it a sex term or is it IKEA furniture?
Oh, no.
I feel like we should be having some Swedish fish right now.
I'll give you another hint. Most of these on the Swedish furniture side are chairs or chair adjacent things.
Chair adjacent.
If that helps you.
You mean you don't have the Malm bookshelf? I feel like, or the
Malm
or the lack. No, because those are the only two things that I like vividly remember. Because Malm, I had a Malm like bookshelf, and lack is like the really cheap square end table.
Oh, how funny! Well, there's other games out here where you can play other. Like there's one. Is it IKEA furniture or a Pokemon? Which was also very funny.
I feel like Paul would be good at that.
But I would need other people on the...
I would not do good at that.
I'm not good at that.
Okay.
All right, so our first word is ekturp. Ekturp.
Ekturp?
Is ekturp?
It's a sex one.
I'm going to go with furniture.
And the winner of that one is, it is an IKEA chair.
Damn it!
Ooh.
An ekturp?
An ekturp.
Is it... Oh, you know what? I want to know what it is, like what it looks like.
Okay. Boanga.
Oh, no.
Boanga.
I'm going to say sex.
I'm going with sex, too.
They are going with the sex term. Boanga is an erection.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so like a boing.
Boanga.
Because it's spelled bang, though. Bonga?
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
The A with a little zero over the top is like owa. Boanga.
I would have called it bangy.
Again, I'm saying this like I really know how to do it.
A linguistics expert.
So, poenga. Poenga.
Isn't that
IKEA?
Poenga.
That's a casino, right?
What did you say? No, that's
Poenga?
Poeng. Not
Poeng?
just poeng.
Poeng.
I'm gonna say sex.
All right, that one
Is it furniture?
is a rocking chair.
Yeah, you've owned the poeng.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, this thing.
He's actually looking him up.
Oh my God! You've owned the poeng. That's how I knew it. You've
There it
owned
is.
the poeng.
I had the poeng.
You had the poeng. And,
Oh no.
well, you'll probably have a lot of these, even for the sex term ones. So, Fajola.
I'm going sex.
Fajola.
Is that-
Fajolla.
Not to be confused with La Jolla.
Or Fajola.
I'm gonna go with
Fajola.
I'm gonna go with furniture.
And Nick, you're saying
said
sex terms? It is homosexual.
No.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a fajola.
All right. Next one. Slampa. Slampa.
I'm gonna go with furniture because it says lamp.
It is a prostitute.
Oh.
It is a tramp, not a lamp. Slampa. No points gone. The score right now is Nick has 3 and Joe has 2.
Yes, I'm winning. Very competitive.
The next word is Leksvik. Leksvik. Leksvik.
Furniture. Oh, I don't know that.
I think furniture.
Leksvik. Yeah, furniture. Come on.
A bar stool.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's the
He's
next one?
fact checking my things here.
Oh, that's not it. Anyway,
What was
I just want to see
spelling?
what it is. If we've ever
Balzer?
Balser.
I feel like it sounds like sex, but it's not.
I'm going with sex. What are you going with?
I'm gonna go with furniture.
Okay, a balser is a chair.
Yes.
Damn it!
Tied it up.
Because I feel like that one, it's like, oh, it sounds like balls.
To be fair, I picked one that was going to be a little bit misleading.
Yeah, good. I got it. I picked up.
Patar. Patar. Pattar.
I'm going with sex.
I'll go with furniture.
Breasts.
Oh.
Yes! I love me some patars.
Do you?
Patartar.
Patartar.
Served on bruschetta.
He's got very sensitive patars.
Patartars.
I'm hurt right now.
Why are you lactating?
No, I lifted.
Why else would you have sensitive patartars?
Every time a baby cries, it gets a little stinging.
Oh my god! Can you imagine if you were in like a daycare and you were like a daycare teacher and you had that like whatever issue and your boobs just were constantly in pain?
Well, after you have a baby, you know, like if
Yeah,
you're working
it's gonna
with other
happen.
children.
Wait, does that really happen?
Yes.
Oh,
You have
Yeah,
tender
you're,
babies.
you know, like another baby crying can make you kind of leak or
No shit, really?
It's really weird.
Yeah.
The hormones are kicked in.
oh, I guess because your body's like, oh, I must help.
Okay, Springa. Springa.
I'm gonna go with furniture.
I'm going to go with an erection.
See, that would be a good word for a
Springa.
We were saying
It's probably
sex term.
No, I'm going furniture.
Okay,
sorry.
it's a cunt.
No!
Your Springa is a cunt.
No way.
I should have stayed with my answer.
It sounded like a box of Springa. Like a box spring.
well, box.
Oh.
So there you go.
All right, Kuksugare.
Furniture.
This is spelled Kuksugare.
I mean, I'll go with furniture too.
Kuksugare. Well, you're not going to beat each other if you keep voting the same way.
Well, because I'm strategically doing what he does in case we're both wrong.
Wait. You're doing furniture?
Don't worry about it.
I'm doing sex toy or sex.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You're changing your answer for that?
Yeah, because I want to.
Well, think about Kuksugare.
I say sugar.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, I got it. Yes.
Oral sex.
Oh.
A person who performs fellatio.
Wow.
Kuksugare.
I love a good kook cigar.
Raidar. Reidar. Reidar.
I'll go with furniture.
Wait, give me a point. I got the last one.
Sorry.
I'm very competitive.
Oh, type A.
Wait, what's this one?
Raidar.
Radar.
What are you going to say?
Should have listened.
What did you say?
I don't know. What did I say?
Now he's all butthurt. Because you changed your
I'm
answer.
going to go with furniture.
That's what I said.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you're both furniture? It is a chair.
Yes!
Okay. This one's hard to say. Ruvual. Ruvual.
Sex. The hard ones, you got to be sex.
No, I'm going to go with furniture.
Ruvual. R-O with 2 dots, V-H-A with a circle over it, L. It's our last one.
Oh, so we're going to tie.
Ruvual is anus.
Yes!
A ruvual.
I have that.
I knew I could win.
Did you both? So, yeah, Nick
I
won.
think Nick won. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, little did we know that Nick is a Swedish
Sex.
sex worker.
He's a cunning
Swedish
linguist.
sex
He's a
fiend.
Swedish cunning linguist.
what
for
was
real.
what was the one with the cocksucker?
You're a schlampa.
Kooksigor.
Kuksugare.
You're a slampa.
Okay.
And
I'll take that.
fajola.
No, I think he's a Springer.
Springer.
A
No,
Springer.
wasn't there a lamp? A slampa?
Yeah, Slampa.
All of these are compliments.
Was
to
slut,
me.
right? You could be a dirty slampa.
Dirty slump.
Well, everybody, that was fun.
Yeah.
been fun.
Next time Paul will be here, right?
He will
It's
be
even
here.
better 'cause
We'll
I
be back
won.
to normal, and I won't have to talk so much.
Oh. Hey, you did a good job. We had
Thanks,
fun.
Andy. We miss you, Paul, but we'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, we'll see. He comes home tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Baxter misses him so much.
I know Baxter's having a depressive episode.
He is. He's sick of me.
No.
He's like,
Can't
what,
be.
you again? But he'll be happy tomorrow. Order will be restored to the universe. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll be back to normal next week.
See you then.
See you then. Be safe.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Gays. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay unprecedented.